How's it going, guys? Today, I'm going to go over the Archnemesis modifier changes that have come in the most recent patch, 3.18.0b. This is just the initial patch here. Sentinels can no longer empower Piety in Act 3. She cannot drop items. Red wheel monsters can no longer be found with Strider mods. The complete essence encounters got nerfed down to 4 rare mods rather than 5. Since they reduced the basics mod spawning from a baseline of 1 on rare enemies that can go up rather than 2 to really nerf things as part of their initial deployment. So they changed the in-game grind to defeating 4 rare monsters from 5 as a part of that change. Clarified vendor recipe challenge. Okay. Fix an issue where consecrated ground from the consecrator monster modifier was granting immunity to curses. This is the biggest issue that I had with regards to any of the Archnemesis mods. It's why is there a hexproof rare monster and an immune to curses monster? I didn't get it. So nice to see that changed. And then they fixed a bug with that. So then they released a hotfix to that. This one has balance changes to Archnemesis modifiers more specifically. So let's go through it. Rejuvenating. Verdant spores inflicted by the healing nova now grant 60% reduced recovery rate of life and energy shield. Previously prevented players from recovering life or energy shield. The healing nova can no longer be used if the monster with this modifier is on full life. So that's huge. If your source of life recovery is it was all recovery. Prevented from recovering, not regen. So no flasks, no leech, no regen, no recoup, nothing. So that getting dropped down is very nice. Magma barriers. Summoned fire volatiles are now much more visible and have had their explosion damage reduced significantly. I never noticed much of an issue with this one. I didn't see it very often though. Toxic. Magic monsters now have a 50% chance to create a toxic volatile on death. Previously always. I don't know. I actually thought that was kind of fun. Where you had a trail of 30 of those things chasing you, and you were just run through them all, and then they drop. But it makes sense because they could make a lot of those. And they have 40 chaos res instead of 50. That's fine. Frenzied now grants 40% increased damage while frenzied, previously 50, and 25% action speed, previously 50. So that's a big nerf there. Overcharge now grants +1 to maximum frenzy power. Endurance charges previously 2. Okay. So I think overcharge they gain charges and they had additional max. So yeah, I can see how that could be pretty ridiculous. Summon effigies will now wait 2 seconds before using their taunt skill upon linking to a player. Okay, don't you really know? Mana Siphoner. Reduce the lightning damage over time taken by enemies in the aura by 33%, and the amount of mana loss per second by enemies in the aura by 67%. We're also looking to improve the visual clarity and reduce the size of the ring in the near future. So the more changes coming to Mana Siphoner, based on my experience with it, it was if you wound up in that ring, you instantly have no mana. So reducing that by 67%, big change. I didn't notice the lightning dot near as much as I can't use abilities now. Just done. So that's great. Incendiary now grants 100% increased ignite damage, previously 300%, and 50 fire res, previously 75. That's a good change. Bloodletter now grants 50% increased damage with bleed, previously 100. Cool. Nerf the Chaos Res on Chaos Weaver. Entangler against 30 Chaos Res. So they're nerfing the Chaos Res stuff. We previously stated in a news post that this mod provided 50 chaos res. The correct value was 40. Okay. Nerf the chaos res on our Akali touched and Shakiri touched. Storm Strider Lightning Mirage, when hit, now has a larger global cooldown. Same with the Snowbolt on Frost Striders. Assassin is now no longer immune to critical strikes. Takes 70% reduced extra damage from critical strikes. It's fine. Droughtbringer. Nearby enemies now lose 6 flax charges every 3 seconds, previously 15. This is insane. Like, I didn't really notice it too terribly much. But if you were really relying on your flasks a lot, yeah, that'd be bad. So it's a pretty big change there. Invulnerable can no longer appear on magic monsters or rare monsters that aren't part of a monster pack, such as those spawned in Blight encounters. I plan to review that modifier further and make it similar to Benevolent Guardian Nemesis mod. Okay. I can see some people having an issue with this one, but I haven't noticed too many issues with it. Even running in like pure breachstones with like party stuff, I can't pick out like a single time where Invulnerable played a huge role in anything. So next, reduce the number of magic and rare monsters that can spawn in ritual encounters. The amount of tribute granted by rare and magic monsters has been increased to compensate for this change. Yep, that's why I was skipping rituals, like, because I did not want to deal with that nonsense. I knew right from the get-go that was going to be crazy. The Soul Conduit, Final Gasp, Mirror Image, and Opulent Monster modifiers can no longer appear in ritual monsters. That's great change too. Cool. The inherent maximum life bonuses from monster modifiers no longer applies to metamorphs. Yes, that's huge. Because metamorphs, like, they nerf the number of mods, but like, you're just, like, the rare enemies are still gonna all have mods when you're making a metamorph. The metamorphs were just insane because you're stacking all these mods there. That's huge. Yeah, that makes metamorphs doable again. Okay, Mirror Image monster modifier can no longer appear on metamorphs. Cool. Magic Blackguard elites that accompany Piety and General Gravicius now have 40% less life. Okay. Fixed a bug where the heralding totems, lightning beacons from heralding minions, and storm strider modifiers sometimes fail to despawn. Okay. And fix the bug where Impossible Escape could roll keystones no longer on the passive tree. Okay, I read Impossible Escape, I'm just like, please don't tell me they just nerfed the thing I just made the video on. But okay, so that's that. There's something in here that I would like to see. Like, I don't have too much of an issue. Like, if we go, like, I didn't want to read through this whole list of mods. So they released all the mods here a few days ago. I was really focused on the 100 grinds, so I didn't really go through all this. Where is it? I think the like amount of max res that was applying across multiple of these, like how this one has 75, now 50 with Incendiary. Like, you could get stuff that has so much resistances that you can't really do anything with it. Even when I had a character that was lowering monster resistances by like 130. Through 2 curses and exposure. That one, like, it was like Flame Strider with the like Flame Weaver or whatever it was to give the max res, like, just crazy stuff. But there's one that I want to bring up here. I can find it. Yeah, Empowered Elements. This one I think needs a change. Okay, so every 4 seconds it gains a new affinity cycling between fire, cold, lightning, physical, and chaos. So while you have an affinity, you have 90% reduced damage taken from all other damage types and increased damage taken of the affinity type. So what happens with this, I feel like Empowered Elements is one that sticks out to me. It's like, this enemy never takes damage, right? It doesn't make sense that it takes increased damage of the affinity type. It should. I feel like it should take reduced damage of the affinity type. The thing is, like, I'm doing all fire damage with my fire trap build. If it has a cold affinity, lightning affinity, physical affinity, or chaos affinity, so that's 16 out of every 20 seconds. It takes 90% less damage. Like, that's a lot. Like, that hurts. That hurts badly. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know why it takes increased damage of the affinity type that it has. Whereas if it had a fire affinity, it would make sense that it would take reduced fire damage. Right? I don't know. Like, I feel like I would get rid of this increased damage taken and just maybe, I don't know. Maybe you could keep it at 90, honestly, and just let it rotate through. Has fire affinity, it gets big fizz of extra fire, and it takes reduced fire damage. Like, that makes sense. And then it's only going to affect you a little bit of the time rather than all of the time. And then, what else? There is the heralding minions. Let's find... Yep. Heralding minions. So this doesn't say much. Rare monsters spawn invulnerable totems on death that cast a lightning nova spell. Totems despawn on death. Now, playing with a party, your breachstones, there is nothing. There is nothing in there at all that killed people more than these totems. And I've even seen, like, a full party wipe. All 6 of us died, like, instantly to a pack of these, including the Orabot. Like, I think these things are way overtuned. Like, they can spawn in huge numbers. Like, you can have a magic pass that has like 15 or something of these, that you miss one of them, there's now 14 of these totems that will warp towards you and shotgun you with lightning novas. And it's like insane. Like, even just one of them hits really hard. Like, I don't have much of an issue with the damage across most of everything else. Mostly just like the tankiness of it. But this mod is ridiculous. It, like, the damage needs toned down on that one. Alright, so that's all I got with that. Quickly, as we get into SSF, so I've already leveled a bit. I'm up to level 61. That's where I'm going to end it. I did a lot of testing today with some Sentinel stuff, which I'll show you after this, but I want to talk a little bit about the goals for SSF. So I'm going to be playing on this Fire Trap Raider to get things started, and my main goal, I can't pull up an atlas, but main goal is to farm for Ashes of the Stars. I want to get that, and then maybe push to 100 on this character. We'll see if I'm feeling that still in a couple days once we're getting closer to that, but I'll get the atlas set up and farm for Ashes of the Stars. Then it's going to be like full in like Maven grind, like as much Maven as I can do to get impossible escape jewels. That is going to kind of, that plus I guess Watcher's Eyes is going to determine probably what comes next, because I would like to try and build something around like having the Watcher's Eye and see if we can combine that with one of the impossible escapes. And then eventually the goal is, like, I have a chieftain build planned that's going to take a lot of prep and specific things. I'll be farming for that the whole league until we can make that happen. And then we'll eventually take on all of the Uber bosses, which I still have not seen in any way, shape, or form. The only thing I've seen or heard about regarding the bosses is that I believe they've now been killed in hardcore SSF by Ben and Nick. And this up here because it shows them. Yeah, Ben's got it. Nick's got... I guess they didn't need to do all of them? I guess Ben's done Exarch and Eater of Worlds. Nobody's done Cirrus yet. So yeah, I know about this. Some of them have killed bosses, and I've seen Tai post a tier list on Twitter, vaguely describing their difficulty from easy to hardest. So beyond that, I don't know anything about it, but we're going to try and take down those bosses. I don't know if this Raider Fire Trap is going to be the best to take down bosses, because it doesn't have the greatest boss damage. It's just supposed to mainly be a really fast map clear. Great for, like, speed farming bosses to spawn my Eater of Worlds, get my Mavens in. Like, I'll be able to do the normal bosses, but I don't know if, without some insane gearing, it's not going to happen on this build. So, now we'll look at the testing I did with the Sentinels. One of the main things that I'm testing here, leveling in SSF, is the Stalker rewards that you can get from like lower levels. So what I'm doing is I'm just constantly refreshing the docks, letting my Stalker Sentinel hit as much stuff as it can, try and get whatever rewards I can, and then just refreshing the zone. So I've already used up all the charges on it. I can grab what's here. I got a Regret Orb and a Rare on this one. And we just refresh and then do it again, because I get more Stalkers or Sentinels than I can like use, right? So I want to like see what I can get at these lower levels for some like gauntlet testing to like figure out if I can like farm specific stuff early on. This has been a decent way of getting some essences and whatnot. Regret Orbs seem like they're really common from Sentinel rewards. Both when I was like pushing in Trade League and here I've gotten several Regret Orbs. And then for only being level 31, like I already have 4 Chaos Orbs chilling in my stash. So this is kind of interesting. I like how, as well, the leveling up your circuit board does not seem too terribly difficult. As it was, like, Scourge League was such an insane grind to get everything leveled all the way up. So I leveled my circuit board. I came down here to get the Stalker beams chain an additional time, getting the fire additional beam, get the increased chance to add rewards. I don't really care about the not empowering normal rarity enemies, because I do want them to empower normal enemies early on. Once you get to maps and stuff where there's more rare and magic enemies, this is a nice node. But I'm just going to like try and push down here to get the less common reward types. But yeah, this Sentinel, I've depleted it. We throw another one in. Like, I got 12 uses of this. Even if I use it every zone, I'm probably going to wind up finding another one before then. Even as well, like, getting Sentinel-specific rewards from these is pretty common, so it's quite likely that I'll find another one before I even deplete this one. But yeah, it's a great little way to farm rewards. Like, if you're maybe even farming for a Tabula and, like, Blood Aqueduct or something, you can get a lot of stuff just by using all of the charges on these. Really nice. So it seems like the Battlefront, like right here, might be a better location to like farm Sentinel rewards, because there's just a unique enemy right here, as well as magic enemies on the like sides and stuff that'll like run up here. So it seems like this is probably like the more ideal place to try and farm rewards with the Sentinel. And it's much quicker to like get in here and just reset this. Just pop the Sentinel again. Because like unique enemies just always going to be right down here. And then it'll like grab the stuff on the sides as well. You can get those on your way back since they run up. Pretty fantastic. The Chamber of Sins seems like it's another good place to farm with Sentinels because you know where a pack of magic enemies is. Just like pick a direction that's not the way the waypoint is. Like there's a magic pack here. I can drop my Sentinel here and like higher chance for rewards out of it. Pretty simple. Probably like a better use of the like lower empowerment Sentinels. But then yeah, I can just run right back and hop in here and do it again. Especially since I'm using a Cobalt one. Cobalts only have 30. So it's a nice easy way to get the value out of those. Blue pack here. Getting lots of quality gems from this. Got enough charges still? Yeah. Their power core. Such easy farm. Actually, really like shouldn't go understated like how good it is for XP as well. Because when you empower enemies with the stalkers, they give more XP. So it's actually really easy to gain a lot of levels just farming like that. The Chamber of Sins project is finished. I went through maybe 5 Stalker Sentinels there. I still have one left, but this is a Brimstone one. So it's got 50 enemies. It's not a quick down and back. Quite as easy. So what came from that? I got myself 3 Cluster Jewels without touching a Delirium Mirror. I got a bunch of div cards, including a full stack of the Lover. So I'm in Act 7 and can get item level 75 or 79 belt. Fantastic. I mean, it can roll better life than I can get. I don't know that a Rustic Sash is something I mess with. But then there's also, I got all these quality gems. Maybe half of those were from that. Not to mention all of the GCPs I got. Got 3 stacked decks as well. Let's see what we got. Pack Leader. Gladiator and another Doppelganger. So like owned cards here. Like the Humility came from Act 4. But I got a Celestial Justicar. Yeah, I guess the really big thing was the liver cards this early. And then, yeah, I guess another GCP out of this. If you want to burn through some Stalker charges really quickly, a great place to do that is in Lab. You're going between so many rooms. A good way to like use a lot of this up. But now I'm also out of Stalker Sentinels. And I've never used these power cores before. So I guess we do that. So I have 3 Brimstones, 6 Cobalts, and 6 Bronze in here. And I want Brimstones. This one has increased quantity as well. This says, destroys 2 Sentinels to create a fully charged Sentinel with a combination of their properties. Sometimes the resultant item is modified unpredictably. So what if I put a Brimstone and a Cobalt in there? What happens? I got a Brimstone, and it's rare. So we got quant chance for rewards to be doubled, increased empowerment, and additional enemies. Okay, that's a great one. Okay, so let's try this again. This one's got quant. What of these? One has currency. We're all nothing. This one's got rarity. Let's throw this currency one in there. Another Brimstone. Cool, it took the higher one again. So we've got quant, additional rewards, we've got rarity. Yeah. Yeah, another really nice one out of there. Okay, one more. This one's got extra charges. Oh. So we got rarity and extra charges. Sure. And this one made Cobalt. So I guess it is random. Max rarity on it though. Well, I guess we test it and see if I mix Cobalt and Bronze. Yeah, that one turned out bronze. Wish this menu would just stay open. Chance to add rewards. Okay, this one made cobalt with chance to add rewards. There's additional beam. Sure. Air cobalt. Nice. Additional beam with chance to add rewards. I like it. And then we just have bronze stalkers left. It's got duration. Definitely use this one. I don't know how the level requirement works. Cryptic Stalker Sentinel? Empowers 123 enemies? Increased duration, increased number, armor reward. Cryptic Stalker. Yeah, this is nuts. I saved that one for maps or something, because it can get so many enemies. This one's still dead. That's certainly interesting. So I guess this is a new base type. I think I might have done one of those. Like, I haven't done too much with it. Use Sentinels. No, I haven't done a Krypton. I did, like, the other one I got was Primeval, and there's still an Ancient Stalker Sentinel out there. So that's the second special one I've created. I haven't really done much with the others at all, just because I've enjoyed the Stalker Sentinels so much. Yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna end it today. It's a nice chill day. Didn't push hard. Slept a lot. Watched a Blues game. Game 1 of the playoffs. Round 2. Yeah. So, if you enjoyed the video, definitely hit the like button. Subscribe if you've not done so already. If you'd like to help support my channel, please consider using the super thanks, the heart icon just below the video, or by becoming a member. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Cheers.